right around the corner.
Here we are, sub-cle. Well, we're back. This is going to be the Pierogi episode.
Hey, pierogies.
We are down 2 people. Haley is going to be out of town for the rest of the year. So we're going to have to find a new cute little girl to
I like how you
do
put
impressions
that.
with
That
you,
doesn't
Jim.
sound bad at all.
No,
That's
no,
really
that
cute,
doesn't sound
cute
bad,
little
no.
girl. Yeah.
Right. Just, yeah, anyway. And then Jay, I guess, can't make it either. He's out of town as well. So we're going to have to just do it with the 3 of us. I think you guys are entertaining enough, right?
Right. Let's hope so. Right?
Yeah. That's us, entertaining.
Entertaining with a capital O.
So it is the pierogi episode. Jim made some pierogies, and we're going to eat them on the break, and we're going to report back. That is another Cleveland traditional dish, right? Like, I would imagine some other things are going to be like Polish boys.
Heck yeah! As far back as I can
schnitzel.
remember, we always had.
Yeah,
pierogies.
I mean, if I were a tourist, like I would be like, yeah, pierogies, Cleveland, you know, great.
I mean, you know, as
No, it's pierogies. I mean, are great.
You know, what I think is interesting is it wasn't until I traveled a little bit that I found out that not everyone knows what a pierogi is around the States.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's kind of cool. I mean, we had that, you know, a lot of Europeans moving to Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we have a lot of that. It's a big melting pot. Schnitzel's another big dish, and you know what, corned beef. I don't know what.
Back in
New York.
Back in the day, like 40s, 50s, and 60s, all of the neighborhoods were segregated. My father was in a small part of Cleveland that was known for its Polish heritage, and you know there were different neighborhoods throughout. And in several different resources that I've talked to and read about, is that back in the day, man, everybody was really proud of their culture, and people fought over just nothing. Like if you were a Jewish kid, you couldn't run through a Polish neighborhood. If you were a Polish kid, you couldn't go through a Jewish neighborhood, and so on and so forth. So there was always a lot of fighting. Like one of the things in Harvey Picar's The Quitter is he talks about for fucking 10 pages about how he couldn't go anywhere. He learned how to fist fight in the early 50s just because he had to fight his way wherever he had to go. On the east side of Cleveland.
Well, Harvey Picar. That's another iconic.
Yeah, Harvey was great,
Cleveland
man.
thing.
That was awesome.
So I know this guy, Hollywood Bob, and he's a limo driver, and he knew Harvey Picar, and Bob would write stories. You know, his claim is that he has inside information on the government and everything, and he's got the inside scoop on these conspiracies and stuff like that. Hey, you know what? He might.
Conspiracy theories. That's Cleveland.
Yes, give me all of those.
But Hollywood Bob, for some reason, is Cleveland. He should be Cleveland Bob.
I have heard that name before. Did he work for the Agora?
No.
Oh, okay,
but
it's a different Bob.
There might be another Hollywood Bob, but no. This guy's an older guy. He paints his pinky nails black. He's actually a really nice guy, but he writes these books. So I was illustrating some of the things for it, and he was telling Harvey Picar about it. Harvey Picar ended up writing a story about Hollywood Bob, and then he mentioned me, and he had some of my actual drawings in the cell of the comic, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he. I don't think it ever got published, though, because he died shortly after. But I have I should show that, you know. I have the, like, you know, it's like done thing. And then, Hollywood Bob, Harvey Picar. Apparently I'm somewhere in that circle, though, I guess. I don't know.
I remember when he did his thing on Letterman.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad pulled me out of bed. You know, my dad would do that. He'd pull you out of bed if like there was a no-hitter going on or whatever. But every time Harvey Picar was on Letterman, my dad would pull me out of bed and go, "Hey, that guy's from Cleveland. Hey, you know, look at there, little Jimmy." You know, and I remember one time, and it was the last time that he went on there.
Yeah.
And he he's just like, why you got me on here? It's all a joke, And my dad going, what the heck's he doing up there? I go back to bed. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. TV.
So yeah, well, yeah. So Harvey.
I don't know.
Pickard,
Is this terrible that I only heard of him in the past 5 years?
No.
No.
It was like an underground thing. I think artists, musicians kind of know, people in the subculture of Cleveland,
Yeah.
kinda hear about him and stuff like that. But they made a national movie about, Paul Giamatti played him in the movie. That's a pretty big deal, I guess.
I feel like I missed out on everything.
Oh, you can still get the graphic novels and stuff and read them. They're real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how it started out. It started out with him and Crumb.
Yeah.
And he would just tell his stories. He would just tell his stories, and Crumb was like, man, I love your stories. Like,
We should have like a guy that like knows those guys. Like have Hollywood Bob come down here. Or something.
just talk about them. It's all just the real stories,
Right.
not just me talking about what happened in the movie. It was a great movie, though, and I did get to meet him. I have my copy of The Quitter signed by Harvey Pickard. It was at I met him. He was at the library.
Nice. So another Cleveland
So-
thing
so-
is the. Sorry, Steve, but I was just going to mention the Commodore Perry. We're going to go with the Great Lakes IPA this time, which I don't know. That's another thing. A lot of Germans, I guess, came here back in the day. I'm part German, and
I think everybody's part
I
German.
think so. Yeah.
Like everybody in the world is part German.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do the Commodore Perry, sticking with the local food, local beer kind of concept, whatever. And I don't know. It's like Jim, you said it's a malty.
It's very malty. It's a very malty IPA. It's
Yeah.
probably one of the more malty IPAs I've ever had.
Yeah. I always thought like Dogfish Head, 60 Minute, that was like a malty.
Yeah, those
like
are malty, but I was
Yeah.
I was taken aback by how malty it is.
Well, and
And
that's
again, I think it's one of those beers that tastes different on tap than it does in a bottle.
for sure. Yeah, it definitely does. And the I'm not a big fan of Great Lakes. I'm a fan because I like to support local things, but it's that whole German style malt kind of taste, which I'm not against malt. That's one of the reasons why I like Dogfish Head 60 Minute is because of the maltiness. But I don't know, Great Lakes, this is probably their best beer that they have year round, I would think.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I
if
saw the heck out of it. Yeah.
Steve has anything to say about that, but I cut you off earlier. Were you going to say something about Harvey Pickard? Or?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask Jim, like, you really have his autograph?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it appears that one of his kids went to my high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or I don't know if it was his kid or not, but sure as heck looked like him. Really did. I was like, oh shit, man! Like we
His
were in
kid
drama.
looked just like him.
Yeah, I looked just like him, but real young. And I was like, hey, man, shit. Like we were in drama club together at Holy Name in Parma. There.
Parma.
Yep.
Parma pierogies, right? Parma pierogies. Is that why you're a big pierogi
I'm
head?
a big pierogi head because I was brought up as far back as I can remember. I've been eating pierogies. It was always a family thing, and they were always made at the church. And every holiday, that's and if the church didn't have them, or they couldn't make enough, then my aunt, my great aunt, my grandma, everybody would get together and make these. So a lot of times when I was a kid, I can remember going into the kitchen at 6 a.m. and there are 7 old ladies making, pierogies and showing little Jimmy how to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's like my house on the house.
Yeah.
Like Easter, my family makes ravioli.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's like a bunch, like all the women in the family get together and make.
it's pretty
pierogies
cool. And I was always like, I can remember even as a kid, I was like, man, I'm having more fun in here with the ladies
right.
than I am with my grandpa, like sitting there passed out, like
Oh, yeah,
drooling
yeah.
on himself.
as a kid, I was always in the kitchen. I was, yeah.
There's more stuff going on in this kitchen.
Yeah.
And I like it here more than I do like watching a football game by myself.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I was like, well, they're doing fun stuff in the kitchen. I don't know. You guys are just sitting here looking at like a TV, yelling at it. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, man.
Yeah. So it was definitely more appealing to me to actually, because it was like all the women and then like me, which is weird.
Yeah,
like
it was always that way
life.
with me too.
Oh man. So all right. So you made these. How'd you make these pierogies?
Just same recipe as usual. 4.5 cups flour, a quarter stick of butter melted, 2 cups of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of salt, and that is 3 eggs, 1 yolk. 2 eggs, 1 yolk. It's 2 eggs, 1 yolk. So you do 2 whole eggs, and then you pull the yolk and leave the white out of 1 egg and 1 extra yolk.
What does that do? What is it? What does that do for it?
It just gives it a little bit more of an eggy flavor to it.
I mean, it just almost seems like that last white probably wouldn't even matter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like that little thing.
You don't know, man.
They're good, man.
That egg white could just
That's
throw a wrench in the whole entire mix.
That's what's weird about dough. When you're working with dough, man, there could be just one little thing.
Right, but bread.
It could be like a weird brand of sour cream. I've ran into that before.
Yeah.
Like got some weird brand of sour cream. I'm like, this dough is acting all weird, and it was because the sour cream was a little too watery or something.
Yeah, like for me, like bread's the easiest thing to bake, I think. As far as the baked goods go, because like candy and all that stuff like kind of eludes me. I don't do well with it because
me too, man.
There's like a chemistry with that.
That's definitely another one of those things where you're off by just a hair of something.
Yeah.
You're gonna mess up your fudge or your caramel or whatever the heck you're doing.
Whereas the bread, it's just gonna be a little different texture or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, it might
banana
not be,
bread.
Yeah.
Well, Steve used to put that shit together right off the cuff, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Just like if they ask you for a loaf of bread, you'd be able to whip that up in like 2 seconds.
A loaf of bread?
Maybe. I mean, well, what things?
No.
I mean, being a chef on an aircraft carrier, you probably got a lot.
First of all, you were a CS, and we didn't, at least not on the ship that I was on.
Uh-huh.
We didn't make homemade bread.
No.
Right. Yeah.
No.
They dropped that off?
No, they didn't drop it off. They just didn't do it.
Just no bread?
No, not no bread. They still had bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like Wonder
They
Bread
just
or
weren't.
something, right?
I mean, breads. I don't know. All that stuff's kind of involved.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's a luxury.
And to do that, for like at highest capacity, like 6,000 people with fresh baked bread,
people, man. Every time you tell me about this,
slowly churned butter, homemade.
I mean,
homemade on the ship, guys.
It fucking blows my mind, man.
Fucking battleship.
Like I
homemade
can't
bread.
imagine cooking for 6,000 fucking people. Like, get out of
here. Well, it wasn't like you were cooking for like 6,000 people all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like I was on a pre-com command, which means they were building the ship, and we had to live on it while they were building it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
see?
Strange.
You see?
That is real strange.
You understand me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, we had to live on the ship while literally people were grinding shit and like welding and like, yeah, it was kind of shitty.
Like, what was the reason for that?
I have no idea.
Really?
No.
Can't even speculate. Was there just no other place that they could put you guys? Was there no facility?
No, there was a facility.
Yeah, with just empty rooms hanging out, and then you were just like...
They wanted to use that for something else and decided, well, they're going to have to live on the ship sooner or later, so might as well get their asses...
So there was some kind of thing.
Yeah,
like that.
and also, people get BAH, if you're an E3 or higher, or E4 or higher.
What does that mean?
BAH is basic allowance for housing, so you can live out in town.
Oh, okay.
So you can have an apartment.
So some other guys were living other places, but
Yeah.
you were stuck on a boat.
Yeah, because I didn't have an apartment in Virginia yet.
Oh,
Okay. So we had just gotten out there. So.
Oh, okay. So you never actually, you weren't at sea or anything?
No, I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when you were doing the cooking? With the
No,
fresh
you were.
baked
I was doing the cooking. I was a CS on the ship like the whole time.
Yeah.
So even while they were still building it, like they had galleys, and the galleys were still being built, mind you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
we're unloading stuff. And we're setting these kitchens up,
right.
stocking silverware and all that other shit.
Right.
Making sure we have our coolers stocked and everything stocked properly, and
Right.
yeah, we opened up shop like immediately.
And then you opened up shop, and then you just like went out to sea and did.
Yeah, we did sea trials. like when I was on the bush, we did sea trials, and like we had all sorts of like certifications that you need to have.
Yeah.
To be, an aircraft carrier. So
it was an aircraft carrier.
It was an aircraft carrier.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like just a ship, or I don't know.
No.
Oh, wow.
It was an aircraft carrier.
That's a large piece. Of
yeah, I failed to mention that. Yeah, I was on the USS George H.W. Bush CVN 77.
Wow. Are there multiple George W. Bushes, I guess?
No.
Oh, because you added
George H.W., which
Right.
means senior. Bush
Right.
Senior.
Right.
So there isn't a Bush Junior yet, but I bet there will be.
Well, he was never in the military, right? So could you? Yeah. What are the rules on that?
Who knows? They could have given him a hall pass.
Or wait, he was in the military, didn't he? Or no? What?
I don't think so.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
I wouldn't put a gun in that guy's hands. No way, man. No freaking way.
I like how now he seems kind of like.
Oh yeah,
Like the
people
good
love
guy.
him now. Like he's on Ellen,
Yeah, he's
and everybody. Oh, look at him and Michelle. He passed her a candy.
Yeah. it's
Look,
just
they passed
crazy.
a candy. That was literally news.
Right.
Yeah, he was, if you look back at the whole thing, he was just a frat boy that was being maneuvered, man. Like, he was just some talking head.
That's what a large group of people would think, but we really don't know. That's what I say about these politicians, man. You don't know, man. All you know is what they want you to know. And there's no way to really know. Like, even when I support a politician or whatever, I won't go to bat for the guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, he's saying some cool shit. Hopefully he does it. You know what I mean? But you're not going to see me defend him. You say something wrong, you say something bad about him. I don't care. It's like, you're probably, I don't know, you might be right. I don't know. But it seems like people that like a certain U.S. president right now, it's like, man, you can't say anything against him.
Yeah,
you can't even mention his name, in not a happy mood.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody's gonna jump on you, man.
Who's gonna jump on you?
Like the guys that like the disenfranchised white men.
Oh yeah.
Or there are some extreme Catholics out there and Christians who feel that he's connected to God.
Yeah. Because
the same Catholic Church that's doing so great right now.
Well, I think it's the evangelicals that really like him, I think. And it makes no sense.
Connected to God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like, even, like, my favorite, Jim Baker.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the guy who sells the buckets of food.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so great.
What about Ernest Angley?
Basta!
Just kind of got...
Ernest Angley, and they put like he's like 99 fucking years old, you know, with a toupee that is obviously not his hair.
Well, you don't know that.
And what was he doing? What was he doing? Was he cheering somebody on to encouraging them to masturbate in front of him or something? Or
yeah,
like,
he was given
what was that?
He's accused of some guy came to him for marriage counseling, and he said he's going to have to see if he's ejaculating correctly.
Oh wow, maybe the old man was just like throwing a joke, you know.
Man,
you know, and that guy like went what? Wait a minute, that sounds like if I went into the office with Ernest Angley and we were sitting there bullshitting, and he says to me, well, you know, Mr. Prokop, you're going to have to find out if you ejaculated properly. And I'd just be kind of like, oh, you're so funny. That's good, man. You are really a funny guy. I would not have, like...
I mean,
what would he... Oh, my God, I can't believe another man just said that to me.
I mean, what would you do if you were Ernest Angley? Like, would you just cheer him on?
He did it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy did it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. You can't make this up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, like, the world ended in the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Dude, man.
I mean, I think that we are literally in purgatory. It's like 100-year purgatory to 2100, and then 2100 is like Judgment Day. You know.
Yeah.
Well, every single Marvel comic movie, any comic movie out right now, is all about the end of the world. Every single one.
Well, that's
yeah.
How do you get any more sensational than that? You know what I mean?
The biggest heroes in the world. Stop the end of the world. Yeah. Every single movie. They're stopping the end of the world again. Oh, all right. Bye, guys.
I know. I don't think the world needs that. Like,
yep, Iron Man.
I mean, we're destroying the Earth, like, you know, just enough in ourselves, and all we have to do really is stop making fucking plastic. Stop making fucking plastic, and recycle
oil, right?
and recycle the plastic that we have, and get off of fossil fuels.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about the sharks. Stop taking the fins off the sharks and throwing them.
Yeah, but I think
the ocean.
I think one of the biggest things that really drives everything, war, environmental concerns, everything, is just drilling for oil. I mean, I
can't believe we still drill for oil.
There's, you know, left wing, whatever fucking guy, but it seems like every problem would be solved if you just stopped drilling for oil. I don't know.
Yeah. yeah, people wouldn't have to worry about their water getting taken away from them.
Yeah.
You know?
George Bush would have never been president.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was an oil move, right?
That was an oil move. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. So Afghanistan's the poppy seed control, right?
Uh-huh.
And Iraq is the oil control.
The oil,
right?
yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's people dying and fighting.
So basically, what you're saying is,
that reason.
Yeah, oil and heroin.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has like a million holes in it, but you know what? Good enough.
Well, you know, dude, Americans got to drive fast. You know, if you gave them a biofuel car that just went 60 miles an hour and that was it. Fuck.
Well, no. I pose this question to you. So maybe I am out of line with that, but I do believe. I don't know. I'm no scientist, but you know, I've looked around enough. I mean, we have like a nuclear reactor in the sky, just always emitting energy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me we've gotten this far and we're still like blowing shit up and making it move? I mean, really? It's ridiculous. I mean, the dude, it's there. I see electric cars moving around all over the place. It's there. What do you think the holdup is?
You know what I think it is? They're just dragging their feet on the infrastructure end of it.
In reality, that's probably what it is.
That's what I think it is.
But they are dragging their feet because, you know, these guys want to make as much money as they can, and everyone knows we're going to have to eventually move that way. You know, because, well, George Carlin said it. You know, we're not saving the Earth. Earth's not going anywhere, you know. We are.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and it's like the Earth's going to shake us off like, you know, some fleas, and then it's going to continue on.
Think it'll be in our lifetime?
No.
No.
I mean, aside from any kind of like, you know, man-made, you know, catastrophe, you know, I don't think nature, I guess, whatever you want to call it, is going to be the end of us. I guess unless it's you know, meteor or asteroid or something like that. But I think they can see those things coming from. Actually, sometimes they do pop up out of nowhere and they don't know where it came from because you can't watch everywhere in the sky all the time.
You can't.
It's really difficult. So it could happen, but it's pretty unlikely, you know. And I think it's going to have to be a man-made thing, you know, that would do us all in.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think? I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, we're essentially eating plastic.
Yeah.
Like, if you eat seafood, like those sea creatures and everything, they ingest plastic.
Right.
Like, that's where we're at. You know?
Right.
So.
Well, and now I think.
So, I'm just saying it just really doesn't look good. Now, I don't really believe that there's, like, a big floating, like, island of, like, plastic in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Well, there is, though.
Like, twice the size of Texas?
Yeah. I believe. Well,
that would be
I don't
bigger.
Know the size, but I know that it's
they said
that everyone mentions it.
This article I was reading that I'm getting this from. They said it was twice the size of Texas.
It's
That's like half the size of the United States. Then
that's bigger than Hawaii.
Oh well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of Hawaiis.
Yeah, exactly. You could fit a bunch of Hawaiis in there. You know. So why, I mean, are ships getting stuck in this island of plastic? Like, I just want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Are there people living there?
No, maybe.
Yeah, it's The Sims.
Dude, this is my place, bro.
Once people start living on islands of plastic, the world's over. It's just over, guys. It's over. They're living on an island of plastic.
They're making their own mead.
Hey man, I still stand by the pickles, man. I don't mind making pickles.
You make pickles?
Well, we were talking about it last episode. I was getting shit for making pickles. I guess that's like
No, go ahead.
That's like your,
Oh no, go.
That's like your hipster flag right there. You got the making the pickles. Are you pickling eggs too?
No.
You ever pickle turnips?
No.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How would that go?
Yeah, it's called lift, and it's like it's Middle Eastern, and the turnips get the color from the beets.
Right.
So they're like purple.
Right.
And they're really good.
Nice.
Really good. And you eat them with like, you know, it's like a side you would have for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would eat hummus and then a side of this. And yeah, I mean, it's actually really good.
Beets are great for you.
Yeah. So, But the pickles you make,
So you just can't do a cucumber.
Have you seen these Kool-Aid
No,
pickles?
I'm
Have you seen
kidding.
these Kool-Aid pickles before?
Yeah, I've heard of the Kool-Aid pickles, and that's taking it too far.
Kool-Aid pickles?
I wonder.
sounds like a bread and butter
I
thing.
am a big fan of gherkins. So
I don't know.
bringing the sweet in there, getting weird, sounds good to me.
Kool-Aid pickles? It's like a shit the bed moment.
Good thing I ate those Kool-Aid pickles. All right. Really got to test out these rubber sheets.
Rubber sheets. Wow,
So-
that got dark.
I know. Let's move back into the pierogi thing. What I don't know. So what I don't know. What's your favorite pierogi around town? Do you know? Do you have like a mass?
Right, and
yeah,
that
do you
is
have like
somewhere
a,
that has
a
one.
marketed kind of thing? Whatever.
I really haven't had any other. I mean, I every time I go to places, the Parma diner, that little Parma Polish diner,
Yeah.
they have good pierogies. Again, the best pierogies in town are always from a church. Like you're never gonna find them at Giant Eagle.
The little old ladies are making the pierogies with
Yeah.
love.
A lot of times when I get the ones from the grocery store, I'm disappointed because they have too much dough
Yeah.
and they're like tough, and I'm like these are tougher pierogies, or they're like really industry shaped, and
I'm-
like
I-
Mrs. T's.
I can't wait to have your pierogies.
Well, thank you.
I think those are probably going to be the best pierogies because they're homemade. And
Right. Well, but
I
that's
don't-
not
I don't-
necessarily true. I mean,
And
some
same
people
day,
can't cook.
made same day.
Yeah.
yeah, made the same day. So nothing's going to be better than that because it's like the freshest like product you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You can
sour
get.
cream
Right.
today.
No,
I
and
got
you're right.
everything today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, but chili is like better like 2 days later.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, but dough stuff, fresh dough, best way to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when-
fresh raviolis or wontons or
or
whatever,
especially
whatever-
fresh
whatever
baked bread,
ethnicity.
man. I love fresh baked bread. Oh yeah.
You know, I make some bread, but it's a lengthy process because you have to like start like 2 days in advance if you want that bread. You know, so yeah, it's a process, man. But it's tasty.
What kind of bread though? Like the Italian long.
No, like just some kind of like artisan kind of, just flour and
Flour, water, and
flour.
Flour and
That's it.
flour.
And some
water,
yeast.
yeast.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't know, man. It's
Little
pretty
salt.
damn good.
Don't
yeah.
forget to salt it
throw some fresh garlic in there.
and some fresh.
Mince
garlic.
it up in there with the dough and
Oh,
stuff. Man, there you go. You're good.
That's it. Like when I go to I love going to there's a little really good Puerto Rican spot in Cleveland called Caribe Bakery,
Yeah.
and I'll go there and get their tripleta, which is it's like a garlic mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, roasted beef, roasted pork, and ham on a fresh baked baguette. And man, oh man, it's freaking $8 and it's 2 meals.
Yeah.
You can eat twice for $8.
He's not kidding. Like the sandwich is
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
literally like that big. Like
Yeah.
I've never had one, but
Where is this at?
It's called La Caribe Bakery. It's,
El Caribe.
El Caribe.
Yeah,
It's on Fulton and Aaron.
which is right. It's right near Clark.
It's just at the corner of Clark, almost.
Oh, okay.
Probably 3 streets away.
yeah.
Okay, because Mazzone's. Right?
And Mazzone's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mazzone's, I like getting that pizza, but I like it cold. With thick,
Yeah.
it's really good. That's really good cold.
Really?
Yeah. Because that marinara sauce just kind of tastes a certain way when it's cold. Like warm, it's take it or leave it. But
Yeah.
there's a friend of mine who, like, whenever she's like, we're having a party, she always insists on bringing me stopping and grabbing Mazzone's on the way there.
Yeah.
Make sure it's cold. Like order it.
Yeah.
Like order it an hour ahead and pick it up late. Yeah, and end up at the party with the cold pizza, and it's just awesome because that thick bread,
Yeah.
cold little bit of cold marinara going on, with just a little bit of cheese on top. It's just
Yeah.
hits the spot. It's good.
No, and like the soonest you could have that from the oven into your mouth, that's like, man, if you can make a sandwich, like
Oh, yeah.
pull it out of the oven, make the sandwich, the cheese kind of, just put the cheese on first, it melts a little bit. Well, you don't need cheese, but and then you just then you layer over this other stuff, you know.
Like a pizza burger.
Not even, yeah,
That's
it's like
funny.
Italians, and put some capicola on there, you know. a little bit
There he
of-
goes, talking about the capicola. Wait a minute.
But a little, all the Italian meats, mortadella,
Yeah, mortadella. What's the one that the thin real slice? The slice it real thin.
The prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the prosciutto. You know what? I think that the best way to maneuver that prosciutto, man, is to make sure that it's like frozen,
Yeah.
and
What?
that's how they get it super, super thin. Like, because
Wow.
it's got to be stiff to, because if
Use
it's
one
too-
of those things that because, well, in Spain, they have like a whole leg. Like, you'll just go into a bar and like have a couple beers, whatever, and there's like a leg, like a pig leg.
Nice.
Sitting off to the side.
A ham.
Yeah. Yeah. and you just kind of take like a little it's like a peeler.
Uh-huh.
You just kind of run it down there, and it shaves off just like a little minute. It's like a little razor.
Yeah, but it's not
It's
frozen.
funny, like, oh no, but it
No,
depends.
it's
Like,
not- no, it's not
It's not
frozen.
frozen.
It's cured.
But it depends if you like I've seen them do it at like other places where they're trying to make a mass amount.
Yeah.
They're trying to shave a mass amount of prosciutto, and most of the time it's too thick.
Yeah.
So I remember that at one time I'd watched a chef go, "Hey man, you want to freeze it to try to make it super thin," and that's how he did it on a slicer. He
Yeah.
shaved it and then he froze it and then put it on the slicer
Yeah.
to try to make sure that it was like that super thin.
Right.
Well, I remember we had it. Where did we have it at? That place on Detroit. What is that place right by the? It's on the corner of Detroit and 55th or something. It's right by the.
Maybe this will help you think.
Here, let me see that. Oh yeah, let's see here.
Where is it at now?
That Commodore IPA really kind of helped a little bit.
It was like a Snickers bar.
Yeah, it's across the street from Milan.
Oh, over
And
there on
it's
Detroit.
next to
Yeah.
the, it's yeah.
They're calling that Hingetown, right?
That's not Hingetown. That's Gordon Square.
No, that's Gordon's. Yeah.
Well, it's in
Hingetown
between.
is-
like it's hinged between Hingetown and Gordon Square.
I think of that as Gordon
Well,
Square. I mean,
dude,
I lived
we're
over
talking
there.
about like what, 5 blocks?
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, it's not like
no, that's Hinge, bro. No, that's Gordon, bro. No.
yeah, right. Yeah, one's like 30th and one's 60th. I guess.
Oh yeah, but when we had it there, I remember I held it up and I could like see light through it,
yeah.
and that's like the best way to eat prosciutto. Like it's paper thin.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a nice ethnic flavor,
Yeah,
and I
it's
don't know.
good.
That's how I can say it.
It's an
because-
acquired taste, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff, like capicola too. I mean, like you got to get all that fat, like spiraled through that, and it's spicy. It's a spicy ham, spicy fatty ham. It's good.
That's the stuff, man. A little bit of beer and a bunch of meat, right?
And then, well, I mean, we're missing the kielbasa for the
Oh,
pierogies.
The kielbasa, yeah.
Have you ever made fresh kielbasa?
I have made kielbasa with my uncle before,
Yeah.
with the grinder and like the twisting it and it coming off like that. But yeah, every place I've had kielbasa in Cleveland, I haven't really been very satisfied.
Now, Sokolowski's, I do love the place for what it is. You know, I mean, I think I can make better food? Yeah. You know, I've been making that food my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as a
It's about
Clevelander,
the
really,
setup.
I mean, that's Sokolowski's is everything Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the food like that we're gonna probably eat.
Well,
on
the
this
the
thing.
kicker about that is, and I can remember as far back as being a child, is going in there and seeing all of that Cleveland Indians memorabilia
Yeah,
and seeing the pictures of Rocky Colavito, Lou Boudreau,
yeah,
all those guys, and them showing they got pictures of Lake Park in there,
yeah.
and that was the first,
Well, and now they have
first
prime
ballpark.
real estate,
Yeah, they really do.
dude. What the hell? They
We
just
built
the
a
city
bridge
just
around them.
basically set them up. They're like, oh yeah,
Because
here
it's been
you
around
go.
for so
Yeah,
long.
Yeah,
And it really has been a mainstay for quite some time. And I remember when they first said, "Hey, we're building. This is a huge city project, and Sokolowski's is the possibility of it closing down.
yeah.
It's it could happen." And everybody freaking lost it and was like, "No way! Like, how can we make this really
Yeah.
work?" And I think it's really great that Cleveland, everybody got together and like banded up and was like, "No, you're not closing Sokolowski's." And I think it's a really beautiful thing. The
Yeah.
owners, everybody's really nice in there.
Well, but now you look at it, and it used to be tucked away into a corner that not too many people went down, you know?
Yeah.
And that whole area right there, I always thought it was great, and then now all of a sudden it's like,
Everybody and their mother.
yeah, it's like a picture
Like
opportunity.
I can't
you know
walk
what I
down
mean?
the street and smoke a doobie anymore. Like that's what we used to do.
No,
Like,
but yeah, but
What,
the
in
thing is,
Tremont?
right in that area.
Yeah.
Like if you were right by Sokolowski's and my buddy Bernie, who I was in some like teenage goth band with no drum set, don't ask. But yeah, Bernie Bernie's the son of the owner of that place.
okay.
He's Bernie Sokolowski.
No, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh
If
no,
I remember
no
correctly.
kidding. Yeah.
And well, Bernie had some problems, and like had some health problems, but I guess he's doing okay now. And but we used to hang out right around Sokolowski's, and there was a garage, and they had instruments in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why don't you play drums, man?" And I'm like, "Well, there's no drums, man. Like, what are we doing here?" I'm like, 15 years old with Sean Holt, and yeah, like we were just walking around there, and I remember walking around going like, "Man, there's like this is all industrial, and there's nothing going on."
Right.
And yeah, you could do whatever the freak you wanted there. Just walk around and be loud and get crazy, and that's what people have been doing for years in the Tremont area until all of a sudden,
Yeah.
the Tremont area started blowing up. And I remember when I lived there in '01, there were a lot of areas that I'd end up in and be like, I don't really think I
Right.
should be in here in this area right now.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be
No, it
quite
was
just
rough.
fine.
It was, yeah. And now it's crazy because now you look at it, and Sokolowski's is like right where everybody wants to take the picture. Of Cleveland.
Yep.
The Cleveland sign thing is there
Yep.
now and everything, and it's
Harvey Picar went there on the Anthony Bourdain show.
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain was interviewing Harvey Picar at Sokolowski's. And that was awesome, man. Especially because, geez, like, wow. To think that interview, like, two people are dead and they're, like,
Yeah.
just to pass
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And I like that's
Yeah,
a
it's
moment in
kind of spooky.
sad and spooky, but
We
that Bourdain show about Cleveland is real cool. You ever seen it?
I think he did a couple, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He liked Cleveland.
Yeah. He even said it. He said it a few times. I'm not going to quote him because it's
No.
going to be on record, and I'm going to probably get it wrong. But he said cool things.
Yeah.
But
Basically, like it's that unpolished timing,
yeah.
All
All right. Well, let's go ahead and eat these pierogies. We'll come back. We'll talk about them. And
All right.
yeah, that's it. All right. Here we go.
Pierogi time.
Pierogi.